This is me.
Just kidding. This is me.
My name is Amanda, and welcome to my podcast where I will be talking about pop culture, music, film, drama, and fan videos.
Back to my channel, Always Popular. I'm Amanda, your host, and let's dive into this week's episode. Before I get started, I would like to say that this week's episode is my season 1 finale, and I would like to thank anyone who has clicked and watch my content. Today marks my 1-year anniversary of my podcast / YouTube channel, Always Popular. And speaking of celebrating anniversaries, that's exactly what we're doing this week. This week's episode is on the anniversary of one of the most beloved and still talked about binge watching series, Charmed. This is the 24th anniversary of Charmed. The fantasy drama show originally premiered on the WB channel from 1998 to May 2006. However, just recently, in the past few years, they launched a reboot for a new generation. For those who don't and never seen the show, it centers around 3 sister witches with magical powers, and they fight demons and evil on a daily basis while trying to balance their normal lives, relationships, and protect the greater good. The sisters all have different powers, from freezing to levitation. They are known as the most powerful witches and are known as the Power of 3 or the Charmed Ones. Just a reminder, there will be spoiler alerts ahead. So the series starts out with the main characters that are Prue, Piper, and Phoebe. Prue is played by Shannon Doherty, who has the power to move things with her mind and has astral projection. Piper, who is played by Holly Marie Combs, has the power to freeze. And the youngest sister, Phoebe, has premonitions and can see the future and the past. Also, in future episodes and seasons, they find out they have another half-sister by the name of Paige. Unfortunately, that's one spoiler I won't give away. You might have to watch the show for that. Alongside the sisters, the other main characters in the cast are Andy, who is played by Ted King, who is Prue's police officer, love interest, and future boyfriend. Alongside Daryl, played by Dorian Gregory, is a police officer lieutenant who helps the family and protects them in the crimes they are involved in. Other notable characters in season 1 who also become main characters are Leo, who is played by Brian Krause, is a pretend handyman who really is a white lighter that's sent to protect the sisters. Leo eventually falls in love with Piper as the season goes on. Phoebe is attracted to Cole, who isn't mentioned until season 2 or 3, who is a pretend lawyer. Okay, I think that's enough spoilers for this episode. These are the top reasons why I think people still love the original Charmed. The first reason is, of course, the memorable characters and or actors. If it was their charisma or talent that helped them put on a good performance, there was just something special about all these characters, and the people that played them brought the show to light. From Cole to Barbas, Hannah and Rex, the Triad, and the Source. Characters were just brought to life when the original actors got casted, and their backstories to the characters are just as memorable, as the spark in them made the show special in what it is today. Despite all the characters being magical, the writers made the characters somewhat normal and relatable as well. They gave them normal day-to-day problems that other people have as well, like dealing with coworkers, dating, getting along with parents, and so much more. The characters on the show were also very likable as well, or even very easily hated if they were a villain. And if you have ever seen an episode of the show, the villains made you want to hate them because of how convincing their performance was. And this also brings me on to my second reason why the fans loved the show, which was their acting. The acting on the show was very convincing, and their delivery and chemistry with each other came out very natural. In particular, especially for the villains in the show, actually at one point made me want to hate them, be scared of them, or want to vanquish them myself. I still get excited watching certain villains being
Vanquished.
no matter how many times I watch the episodes. I would have to say that out of all the villains, the actor who played Barbas was the most convincing actor, and he had great delivery on the show. This show might have ended years ago, and every time I watch a rerun, I still hate his character. And on the original, for one reason why it's better than the reboot is mainly because they have more experience and have been doing acting for a lot longer than the reboot cast. I could not handle that many episodes for the reboot because honestly, their chemistry felt very forced and not convincing, especially in season 1. A fun fact about the original show is that it was confirmed that during the time of the show that 2 of the main characters actually hated each other in real life. However, at least they proved they can act and have chemistry on set. Alyssa Milano and Shannon Doherty apparently had issues with each other, and that ended badly between the 2 years ago. However, in most recent years, I think they actually made up. Also, it was rumored and speculated that Ted had issues with Shannon as well. Anyway, moving on to my next reason, which is about the impact the show had, and also the viewership of the show. When Charmed came out, the show was so big that it resulted in a cult following and is deemed as a cult classic of TV today. The popularity kept on skyrocketing to the top, even for the earlier episodes. Charmed had received millions of viewers for their episodes, and the premiere of the show broke the record for the network's highest-rated debut episode with over 7 million viewers. The show has become a big source of pop culture references in film and television, while influencing other featured television shows in the same genre. The show's success led to board games, a video game, soundtracks, novels, and even a comic book series. The show became the second highest rated series behind Seventh Heaven with a total of 178 episodes, and became the longest running hour-long television series with a female lead cast, surpassing Desperate Housewives. Alongside all this impact the show had, it also won numerous awards like Pop Culture's Favorite Witches, Best Network Television Series, and Favorite Sister. The show also became the second most binge-watched television series on video-on-demand services like Netflix in 2012. With all the success the show had, the best part isn't even the episodes or the amazing viewership. The last reason why I think people still love the original is because of the actors. In real life, you hear stories about certain actors who have big egos or just don't care about their fans. The original actors, mainly Brian and Holly, are the sweetest people to me. Fans say they are down to earth and are really nice according to the fan pages I've seen and that I'm a part of on social media. So it really helps the show if the actors, even to this day, don't mind talking about the show and being asked the same questions over and over again. So it really proves that they really do love talking about the past and all the memories that they made on the show. So the fact that the show is still relevant, popular, and successful about 25 years later, that's really special, and barely any show today has the type of power, legacy, support, and impact. So I guess you can really say they really are magical and quite simply charming. And if you haven't seen the original show, I would highly suggest watching it. However, you might get sucked in like I did. Before I go, here is an in-memory list of every Charmed cast member over the years. Once again, thanks for listening and watching, and you'll hear me in the next episode.